Hi unicorns, it's Christina the Tarot Biz Mentor here, and today I'm back with another video. Today I want to talk to you about 3 myths about starting a spiritual life coaching business that may be keeping you from actually jumping into the online coaching world. So the very first, number one, the myth I want to talk about is that it takes a lot of startup capital to start an online spiritual life coaching business. And that's just simply not the case. Uh, you might believe that you might have to buy the expensive photo shoot, or that you need to spend $5,000 on a brand new website and you have to pay a graphic designer and all of these other things. Or you might need like couple $100 to buy just the right logo. You might believe that if you have the right logo or the best looking website, that's what is gonna take to actually, get clients as a spiritual life coach. And sadly, that is not the case. I know that that's kind of like a misconception that's out there. Those things are nice, don't get me wrong. And let me put it this way. I'm talking to you right now after it started in 2012 as a tarot reader, then moved up to spiritual life coaching. So I've been at this for quite some time, about 7 years that I've been at this. And I can tell you right now, standing in front of you right now, I have built over $500,000 coaching and tarot reading business. And I have never once had a professional photo shoot for this particular industry. Um, it's really, or you might think that you might need like a really big ad budget to put out first, or you need ad money, or you need to boost your posts and things like that. But the reality is that I've never paid for a web designer. I do all of my own graphic design on Canva. I've never had a photo shoot. The truth is that you don't need a lot of startup cash, and you don't need a fancy website or a fancy photo shoot. You would not believe how many people come to me who I would think have a lot of clients, but they don't have clients. But they have the photo shoot, they have the $5,000 website, but they still don't have clients. And so, like I said, those are nice things to have those things. It's nice to work towards those things, to set them up as goals as you move forward in your business, to even set them up as milestones that you celebrate in your business. But it's really not necessary to start with. Nice to gift yourself with eventually, but not necessary to start with. So number two, the coaching industry is too saturated. I know it can feel like that sometimes. I know it can feel like everybody and their mother is a spiritual life coach now. Like, you can't throw a rock, you can't throw a tarot card without hitting someone that is a spiritual life coach or wants to be a spiritual life coach. But the truth is that spiritual life coaches and life coaches in general really aren't as common as you think. So the way I describe this is, when you start thinking about like following the law of attraction, or when you start studying energy and things like that, when you start joining online groups, especially to start joining with other coaches, start like learning how to coach, or you start joining a group like mine that's like all about how to market yourself and stuff like that, it can seem like there's a lot of spiritual life coaches out there, but it's simply because that's where you are now. Like, that is where you have joined all these groups and followed all these pages and signed up for all these newsletters. So it seems like there's a lot of coaches out there, but there really isn't. It's just the fact that like attracts like. And so you're in this space now where you want to become a coach. You're trying to pull that into your reality to manifest that. And it might seem like there's a lot of coaches out there, but the reality is that there isn't. There's way more people out there who need coaches than there are coaches right now. And the truth is that there's plenty of room for more coaches out there. And honestly, we're just getting started. This is a brand new multi-billion-dollar industry. If you start looking at like self-help books and courses and things like that, I mean, there's a lot of money to be made. And we're only about maybe 10 years really into this niche, especially online. And we're just getting started. There's a whole lot more to come. And even coaches need coaches sometimes. So while it might seem like it's oversaturated, it's really not. And then the third one, probably the most controversial, that's why I saved this one for last, because it's really controversial. The myth is that you have to be formally trained to pay thousands of dollars for a coaching program. So you can see why I saved this one for last. I don't believe it's necessary to go through coaching school. I don't believe it's necessary to become accredited or certified as a coach. There's no governing board. There's a lot of associations out there who will sell you a fancy certificate for $10,000. You know, there's plenty of people out there who are willing to take your money, but there's no actual like governing body for spiritual life coaching or life coaching in general. And so I don't really believe that you need to invest in a coaching program like to teach you how to be a coach right away. I would say what you probably need to do is you need to hire a coach. You need to become a client first. You need to see what it's like to actually work with the coach, right? I also think that most spiritual life coaches start out as professional psychics or tarot readers or astrologers or any other number of divinatory services. And so these types of services are pretty much like coaching already. So in my opinion, most of us are already natural coaches. We already do it kind of like naturally in our life anyway. And honestly, most of the stuff you see out there for life coach, like training, like how to be a life coach, is really superficial at best. And it's not really representative of the real life coaching world. So my advice, like I said, is to hire and start working with a coach and to see what it's really like before dropping 10 grand or 5 grand or even 20 grand on a coaching program that like tells you it's like going to college. I tell you right now, it is not anything like going to college. So there you have it. 3 myths about starting an online spiritual life coaching business. And I want to know, do you believe some of these things? Do you still believe some of these things? Do you kind of wrestle with yourself about believing some of these things? And are these things holding you back? And if you're an experienced coach, did you believe these myths about starting as well? I mean, maybe you have some pieces of wisdom or something you'd like to share in the comments below to kind of help our newbie coaches out. Well, I hope I inspired you through this video to just go for it and to not hold yourself back anymore with these unrealistic expectations about starting an online spiritual life coaching business. I'll see you in the next video.